Well, hello, hello. How are we doing? Hope everybody's fine. I know we had already a stream today casting another game between Jürgen and Emma. Hope everybody had fun there. I was able to catch the results. Wasn't able to catch too much of the games myself, but hopefully it's gonna be good. I get a chance to maybe rewatch it later as well. Um, Yeah, so Raven, to answer your question, I don't think it's been casted yet because we do have a way of keeping track of everything just for the casters, and I do see it's scheduled for a cast but has not been casted yet. I'll make sure to check in with Neo to see when exactly he meant to do that one, so that I can actually give you more information on when exactly you can expect that cast and or when at least the VOD will be up if you're not able to watch it exactly then. Yeah. Also, I'm just seeing this. Emma, yes, I could do well with a co-caster. Even for somebody who likes talking as much as me, all of these games being done alone take a bit of a toll. So, to let everybody know right away, so we will have Emma Stonewalls joining us as co-caster here. Now, okay, sorry. Oh, that's what you saw there for a second is a quintessential tool here for playing games. Alright, I'll get the games and hop in. Okay, no problem. Just let me know when you have them sorted out, and I can bring you in. I'll keep the chat interested for a few more seconds with some comments, I guess. I hope also everybody so far has been enjoying the Den Battle Royale. I do feel like we've had some amazing games and some amazing casts so far. I really honestly like how the tournament is going on so far. And to be honest, I'm kind of enjoying all the comments on the map pool as well. Because to be fair, we're all human, and I kind of hate some of the maps now as well. Like I'm not worried at all that they're in tournament. They should be. I just kind of hate playing them right now. So yeah, works pretty well for all, I would say. And yep, thank you Jürgen for adding that info. I'll actually add it for people in the description as well, so that we know that it's a co-cast with our man Emma. There we go. So it's updated on the stream title as well. What you see on TV, Polly, was actually I had my best man over. We were playing some FIFA. So yeah, it's soccer. It's actually football. That's the actual football. But yeah, that's we played some FIFA 2023. No, it's football. You use a foot, you kick a ball. It's not hand egg like you have in the US or in Canada. Uh, I wanted to tell Jürgen to time you out, but then I remember you're also a mod, and I have to see the icon that you're a mod. And you also just recently subscribed, so I'ma let it slide. We don't call hockey skate puck. Because it was uncontended, nobody was gonna steal hockey. Nobody was gonna steal hockey away, trust me. Yep. Let me invite Emma in, and he can join fully when he has the games ready. But just to make sure I can add him to the calls as well. Okay, wait, Emma, let me just make sure people can hear you on the stream as well. Okay, here we are. Okay, they should hear you now. Also,
Hi, Kajarson. Hi, chat.
Yeah, we have Emma in as well. Also, Polly, thank you for the redeem. As you know, we're casting right now, and I honestly can't even give you an idea of when exactly will that be done, like the redeem you just did, because I'm gonna be doing a lot of casting of the tournament going forward, or at least until it's done, most likely. So we're probably gonna see a very little of me actually playing the game on streams, at least. I'm stealing your casting. Okay, yeah, sure. Emma, you want us to start the drafts?
Sure, yeah.
Okay. And just to give everybody an update, so this is Silver League. We are starting with, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is Group A. It's Syn, Guardians of Yuna, who is from the USA, and 1176 is the ELO. And DmBent, who is also from the USA, so we have an all USA matchup with 1125. And without further ado, let's actually get started with the map drafts. I'll just run through these. So Pacific Islands banned by Syn. Socotra banned by DmBent. You guys know this always hurts me. And we have African Clearing for Syn as the home map and Mediterranean for DmBent. And we're gonna see the first game be on Bogland. So there goes one of the premier maps of the tournament so far, I'd say.
I like the map so far, but I have to say that I'm also a little bit sad that so many people are banning Socotra.
Yep. I am kinda happy that the only set I played it wasn't banned in, so I take my wins where I can get them. Okay, and let's go right into the Civ drafts. Emma's interview with Broccoli last night was so good. I'll have to take your word for it. Jurgen actually wasn't around to see it, or wasn't around in time at least. And let's see what the bans in terms of the Civs look like. So it was Mongols banned by Syn, and Georgians and Huns banned by DmBent, and then Spanish to round it off by Syn, who then picked Chinese. That's an interesting, like straight off the bat we have a Chinese pick. And then Persians and Berbers as the response from DmBent. And to round it off with their picks, it's the Mayans for Syn. And now let's see what the random picks have done for them. Okay.
Humans are good. Very versatile.
Okay, so Burgundians, Poles, and Cumans for Syn from the randoms. And Vietnamese, Portuguese, Armenians for DmBent. So
I wouldn't be unhappy with any of these safe choices,
yeah,
to be honest.
pretty much. And also, like, considering his home map is Mediterranean, a pretty strong water sieve out of the randoms, like in terms of Armenians that we have, and even Portuguese that we get for DmBent. So I think it gives him even more wiggle room as well in terms of if he does not want to use one of his picked civs in that game as well.
Yeah, I don't see or don't know what Sin will choose for Mediterranean. I believe he's not as much of a madman as I am to go with Mayans there.
Yeah, that I'm not sure. Like neither of these civs seems like the perfect pick for that map either. To be fair. Also, Harar Base, welcome aboard. Nice to see you around. And without then further ado, as we said, it's gonna be Bogland for the first game. And let me take you over right away. As you know, as always, I have prepped the first game, so let's just hop right into it. And as we said, we are on Bogland, and it's Mayans against Portuguese in game one. So Syn going with a comfort pick, one of the civs he picked in this case, and DmBent going with one of the civs he got from the random rotation. And we are on Boglands, as you guys know. This a very interesting map, a lot of unbuildable terrain on it, with a basically sort of a nomad start, because you do start without a TC, but you do start with a tower and a mill, so you're gonna settle pretty close always.
It looks like they didn't get the desert generation, so there are not many holes in the wood line.
Yep.
And they are also quite fast, both of them with the TC placement.
Yep.
And
Yep.
I'm not sure how well they knew Nomad, but if they all rush the TC with 3 villagers, they will get pop capped fairly soon.
Yeah. Also,
Even please go on.
yeah, no problem. Also, Arbase, I get your sentiment. Like after playing several games and one set game on this map, I literally share your sentiment. it's something, alright.
I think Sin will get housed because due to being Mayans, he gets an extra villager. I mean that he's already
Yeah,
4 villager,
he's already
and
housed.
with the scout, it is immediate housing. Normally you go with the loom, but if you have built a house earlier, this could have been avoided. Still, even with some idle TC time, you still have a villager advantage.
Yeah. And in terms of the Civ matchup themselves, who would you prefer in general, and in this particular case for the map?
If it was any other map, I would say the Mayans. would be better. Since it is a chokeholdy map and easier to wall off, and most likely the reaction based on ELO, I say would happen in Imperial Age. I think Portuguese have way more options there than any Mesosiv.
Okay, yeah. And also, just up my mic a few percent, no problem at all. I can do that. And
Ooh. Bennett is actually
should be fine.
taking the herdables instead of bothering with the food, the natural food with the ibexes, which is a slower food income. But Syn, on the other hand, is taking separately the hunt.
Yeah. Arbe says he likes what his Sin is doing actually. And to be honest, considering like, I mean, you told me this as well, and I kind of saw it for myself and saw it by casting other people. Like, I do prefer archer civs on this map, especially if you're trying to do some early aggression. Even though considering that most people will be walled off on this map, as Arbase was saying as well. So I do think the mines could do still pretty well. I do like the mines here, and if we do reach some point of a late game, of course, like Eldorado Eagles are always a thing.
Indeed. Also, going back to archers, if Bennett is just falling off his side and Syn is just producing few archers, like 2 on every single wood line, he will be
Mm-hmm.
starving out the opponent of resources sooner or later.
Yep.
At least in terms of food.
Ah, there we go. So idle TC time, well, basically a villager advantage in it for DmBent, and it's mostly I would say from Syn getting housed early on because of the issue we mentioned, or the mistake he
Uh,
made, let's say early on.
and I think after the first village, or after the villager being queued up, he forgot to queue up on fielders because he was at like 13 second
Yep.
ahead team, but now Bennett is trying to match him.
Mm-hmm. Okay. For some reason, I'm still very low in voice for people, from what I can understand. I'm trying to see what the issue might be since I haven't
It
really
might be
changed any
on
settings.
stream because I can hear you perfectly clearly.
Oh, okay. So it
So
might
maybe
just
the
be on
Discord setting
stream.
is good, but on the stream something is
Let's
not
do.
adjusted.
I'm just checking right now, so everything is as it is usually. But let's make sure we check this. Yeah, everything should be pretty much the same. I could talk a bit louder than usually. I mean that's also not an issue itself. I have lowered you a bit down because I noticed like it was
Sure.
setting you on full, which usually does make the co-caster a bit too loud in most cases.
Yeah, I don't want to see the spotlight that much from you. Actually, I think Ben doesn't know the map that much based on his scouting, because he's already placing farm. He's not really bothering with the ibexes. Only have had 3 on food
Mm-hmm.
and getting heavily on wood. In the meantime, if I
Also,
move,
I'm used to seeing the descending farms from the hill usually, not straight up under the TC as soon as we start.
yeah, Sane has scouted. Well, Bent has scouted them up well, but I don't think he found many herdables, or at
Mm-hmm.
least the ones he found he didn't move. I think Sane is in a much better position.
Yep. Singh has found some geese, and eventually he will even run into this one that's in his base as well, that he hasn't picked up. But you can see that he's been walking around and he has been sending them back, which is nice to see. There are still quite a few of them out and about.
Then again, you have to take the geese to stop the Portuguese.
Yeah.
And I think Sin is doing it well. Based on scouting, he scouted the middle map, took most of the herdables, I think. He's in a really good position.
Yep. And let's see what the
Uh,
scouting actually looks for them. So, okay, so very nice circle made so far. Very nice knowledge gained by Sin, and he has found his opponent. So that's basically everything he needs to do so far because he got a lot of geese. He got information where the opponent is. But yep. On the other hand, not bad scouting from DmBent either, but he hasn't found his opponent yet. And as we said, like the factor of getting the geese back home seems to have went kind of in Sin's favor so far. Only has the 2 geese remaining here to take after this one is done for.
Currently, at this stage of the game, as there are no berry bushes, farming is the slowest income for food income in Dark
Mm-hmm.
Age. And we can already see that Syn can think about clicking up after the next villager.
Yeah, but he
But
could
Bent
force
is
the
a little
drop
bit
right
further away.
now as well. He should have forced drop so he's idling the TC now. Okay, but here he goes. Yep. He's kind of forgetting about his scout right now, and if you just take him around here, there's a few geese more he can get and take back home. Just
Uh,
continuing this direction.
Running is tiring. Maybe he needed a little bit of rest.
Yeah, he's not on a horse, so it makes it a lot harder. Like, just look at all the scouting done by Syn so far, which is by his Eagle Scout. I'd be done for.
Yeah, I think it's like 2/3 of the map right now.
Yep.
Bent is not far behind.
Yep, very true. But
He
see, DmBent seems to be in a position I'm usually in, so it's kind of hard to get your timings right on a map that doesn't have the boars. It kind of changes the game plan, and that's what happens to me often as well. And
yeah.
DmBent is walled off, but like walled in, so to say. He didn't prepare a gate. I guess he can drop one here on this palisade wall, or he would have to. Otherwise, he'll have to delete something because he didn't really leave himself a way out.
Deleting a procedure is not really issue. It doesn't cost a lot. What I don't really like is that if he goes outside nearby, there is not much resources other than a stone and gold in the corner to the edge of the map. While seeing the only thing I really don't like is this god awful stone and gold placement.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think that would be cause of an admin re, but I might be wrong. Then again, he's playing well, and I think I was not sure if Bent is playing
Yeah.
or trying to achieve a fast castle build, but
Hmm.
it's not unlikely.
Yeah, but it's like, but he has some Eagle Scouts in queue actually, so it's. Oh, for Syn's side actually. DmBent on the other hand might be doing that himself. And yeah, so I mean, there's gold accessible inside for Syn as well, and he's gonna complete his wall off too. And yeah, like the stone,
There is a hole
hella
in
ugly
between the
position.
woodlines,
And he's gonna fill this one in as well.
which you didn't notice.
You mean you think there's one behind his archery range? Yeah, there should be
Uh,
actually.
yeah, not behind the archer range actually. I meant it between the woodline near the barracks.
Okay, yeah, there is one. There is one on that
I
one.
might be a little bit further ahead. I'm currently at 1550.
Oh no, I'm at 1605.
Okay.
So for
Speed
me,
up
both
too.
players are in feudal age now.
Okay. I speed it up.
There we go.
Yeah, immediately Bent is dropping the classic market and blacksmith.
Yep.
I think this is going to be a fast castle for him. While Sin is stacking into countering everything with spearmen,
Yeah,
archers,
bit of an
eagles.
AI
You have
composition
everything.
that we're seeing. Yep.
The only thing he is missing is men at arms and skirmishers.
Yeah, pretty much.
But I think if he's going early aggression, he can get potential value because right now Bent is doing a really good job of enclosing himself in a way that if he wants to go out, he has to delete a lot of stuff now.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, at least one of these houses would have to go down. But what I would maybe do is like delete this house and place a gate out on the end here, if this part allows it. Like one of these houses on the right side.
Sin
DmBent
is
space.
really doubling down on archers. He has 6 in queue now. He's going to go 10 archers. I think it's a good tactic. I would actually follow up with tower drops as well, if possible.
Yeah.
But I don't think his 2 in excess allows him to do, so, to be honest.
Yep. Well, when you see something like this happen, like a generation like this is when I thought like, that's when I think, well, now if your opponent was like, if you were like Sicilians, then you can start donjon dropping like right next to the TC. That's when it makes it really uncomfortable for the opponent.
Yeah. And I think Bent is actually planning to get castle and get into Organ Grounds. I don't think he's going to wait till an Imperial game.
Mm-hmm.
He might find to end it up in castle, which makes sense because the power, it is a really, the Organ Grounds are really powerful unit. One of the few gunpowder units that you don't even need to research chemistry to get access to it. And on a chokeholdy map, they can get a lot of value.
Yeah.
punch way above the rate, so to
And
say.
he's like 15 seconds away from castle, and these timings are pretty good. And he has 6 on stone with 400 stone banked in already. So it really does sound you're right about what his plan is, and it's going pretty well for him so far. And we have Syn on the way trying to find some damage circling around with the archers. Won't be able to find much at this point. So we'll see what's the alley he tries to take. I do like this from Syn, so far it appears that he showed the eagles but hasn't showed the archers. But we do see skirmishes on the way from DmBent, so might have seen them or just still expecting him, knowing that he's up against the Mayans.
Yeah, Mayans don't really have a lot of units.
Yep.
And most likely you would want to tack into the power unit of the Malines, which is the Plumed Archer, and they are very well countered by skirmishers.
Yep. Okay, we are having a second TC by DmBent, but DmBent still not too interested in going out of his enclosement here. So
Yeah, that is interesting.
yeah, we still see no way for him to get out, and we still see no wish from him to go out. So I'm guessing like we might be right in the term of like he wants organ gun, so I'm guessing he's still gonna be just not going out until he mines out the stone and he's able to drop a castle to whatever location he chooses to go out to. And we have Syn now clicking up to castle as well, but prior to clicking up, Syn got all the eco upgrades including wheelbarrow as well. So his eco will be pretty fine. He has 40 villagers and he's on his way up now, so pretty good position to be in since he is under no pressure. So
Exactly, and not to mention, since civilization, the Mayans have a SIB bonus, which means that archer units produced in the archer range are actually cheaper.
yeah. Also with like Syn's economy at how he has been, and since he was like not being attacked, it was a passive game. He has all the army, and he lost nothing by not being castle so far, because he wasn't pressured by
Exactly.
castle age army compared to feudal age army, and he can just waltz into castle and get these guys into crossbows, and take it from there.
Here I think Sin has an accolade, and not only that he has army, and but not just army, but he has all the necessary upgrades that he needs right now. I have no doubt that when he reaches
Look
castle age, he will get all the other blacksmith upgrade that is needed. I think archer armor you can live without. Attack is much more important, and in the meantime, Bent is placing a castle, but inside his
Yeah,
base.
I don't like
So
it really.
he's getting really crowded there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, it's like I thought he would at least use the castle to win a space outside and expand to the side. Right now he's getting to a position where he's just gonna run outside of space inside here for whatever he wants to do at this point.
Sin in the meantime is placing random buildings outside just to have vision, like houses, to cut off
Yeah.
even choke point
Like-
for one forward barracks and also outpost rushing, so
Yeah.
to say, on all the resources to make sure that he sees when the opponent
Mhm.
is extending. And I think
Okay, so
even
now
if
he's expanding on this side. So see what I mean? He's expanding on
yeah.
the left now, but so our base, I understand what you mean, but I preferred if this castle would then be like somewhere over here in front of where the TC is. So you protect that side and expand to it. Maybe better than
Yeah.
this side here where it is right now. But maybe he wants to protect the main resources that he has in terms of stone and gold under the castle now. So could be
Another
either.
thing he could pull off is to have very limited resources but very condensed base and just drop two fight areas in Imperial Age as a play. But I don't think that should be your go-to game plan. It should be a last resort as Portuguese because there are so many resources on
Yeah.
the map.
Also, our base, it's not easy to wall off because these parts you can build over, this part you can build over. So it's really a question of how much of this you can build over. I think it would have to go like over here somewhere, kind of arching, because all of these bluish parts here are not buildable terrain. So it really messes it up. It really gets complicated. You feel like this is a decent amount of space, but considering like how much of this is unbuildable terrain, it kind of changes the picture. And that's like one of the annoying parts of Boglands, I would say, and the part that people kind of struggle with.
Sin is now 2 TC as well.
Yep, and he is going with the went with the forward barracks already. Now going with the forward siege workshop as well. The TC of DmBent is very rangeable by the mangonel that will come out, and
Oh,
this
and
wood
also
line
he's
might be
moving
hit
on with
now.
archers.
Let's
I
see the
think it's a very good
crossbows.
point.
So we
Already
get 1
plus 2
down, 2
attacks.
down, 3 down. Okay, nicely done. That's nice job there. three villagers for free, but it is a 16 eco
Correct.
lead for DmBent already here.
What he should consider right now, although he doesn't have the wood, is dropping a universal and getting ballistics
Mm-hmm.
to make sure that next time he moves in for the kill, he can take all the damage. I don't think he noticed the castle, and
Yeah.
I think with the siege workshop and the onager, he's cutting at the wrong place.
Yeah.
He should be going to the house or the woodline, but Bent is now preparing a siege workshop on his own. And here is where the Portuguese save bonus will
But
get it.
I
Will go in
would
clutch.
prefer that this mangonel keeps hitting a monastery or a town center here.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
that's for sure. And there's a lot of idle eco for DmBent now since that attack. Like, he can just drop them to this lower wood line here. They were all woodcutters on this side where the crossbow showed up, so this is kind of just wasting time and idling your eco here. Okay, so the Eagles and Mangonel will try to go
He
in.
will leave
We'll
the
see it.
castle.
Yep.
I don't think he knew about the castle. Now he realizes,
Yeah,
okay,
for sure.
just
I
wasted time.
for sure because he tried in with the going in with the Mangonel first, which is like a very telling sign that he didn't know what was gonna wait for him there. Okay, we have a Mango out for DmBent now as well.
I like that Syn is only sending 2 archers forward.
Yep.
It means he cannot do that, but then again, enemy Mongols can kill. And he's also building a house, I think partially for getting vision and also creating more of a choke point to make sure that the enemy cannot really go out. Bent is stacking into 2 knights. I don't know why.
Yeah,
be
but I mean,
honest.
he has a nice amount of organ guns as well. These guys are pretty strong at this point, especially. And let's see. So he's safely farming some more stone on this side. We'll have enough for another castle soon. Syn is only now with 2 on stone. Like, he didn't seem too interested in it prior. Okay, he has increased the number of stone to 6 right now. But man,
yeah,
the
but then again,
positioning
he
for
didn't
the
have stone
stone.
access.
Like, yeah, but look at the stone access for Syn on both sides, like here and in this corner little here. Not the greatest.
I think this should have been an admiral from the beginning, but based on what he had and they went forward with the game, I think he's doing okay.
Yeah, and like often it's I notice that often like players don't like think about that as much either. They just see it like and think of it as well fuck.
Yeah. Bent is getting redemption. I think he wants to combo the enemy Mangonels and use it against the archers, which is not a bad play. The only bad thing about it is
Ooh,
that
nice hits for the
he's-
mangoes here. Gets rid of both the mangoes hitting him.
Yeah. Redemptions is not questionable at this point, but still,
Yep.
for future mangoes it could be good. Why I don't really like, I think he should have cancelled it the last minute because then he would have the resources to click up to.
But now we're
Imperial
gonna
Age.
try battering rams for Syn to go in here towards this castle.
I don't think it's going to work for a handful of reasons. One, the organ gun, second, the onager, and 3, they will be up here, so extra damage will be taken.
And I think like you would need more. This house can't go up because the crossbows are there. I think you'd need more battering rams and more eagles inside them, and create a
Yeah,
messy
exactly.
situation. At least get yourself a way in, if you were to try it.
I think Syn is too much tunnel vision right now, and it might cost him the game. If he would have went
They
on
would
the
have
side
another
where the
blue
castle
dagger.
is being built, he
Yep.
could have dealt much more eco defense. He could have
See-
shut down DC even.
Yeah, so it turns out, like, to be fair, it turns out DmBent was kinda right, because I expected the first castle to be where the second one is, but this castle here provides some nice value and defense for him, so kudos to that decision. Although I am kinda surprised at how long it took him to branch out.
I
And-
think Syn is planning to go Imperial right now.
Yeah, and Syn has this kind of layered base. You see, DmBent did send the knights forward trying to see if there's a hole or there's a way for him to do some damage, but not really gonna be able to find a lot here. There is a hole here, but only to the next section, not really fully to the base. And it's gonna even be filled in as well.
Syn is doubling down on stone. I think he's planning to maybe for a forward castle and use trebuchet because in Imperial they don't really have much siege units.
But DmBent has enough for 2 more castles, or like 1 more, and gonna have for a second soon. And seems to want to slowly win space by castles. But here we go.
Yeah.
Syn is gonna drop one offensively, and Syn is on his
Good
way
game
to
of
imp, which is definitely a good position for him. I mean, DmBent can abuse and click up at any point. He's floating
true.
4k wood.
I think he shouldn't. After he drops the castle on the edge of the map, near the gold, he should drop a fight area just in case.
Mhm.
I think one in Imperial is enough. Even if they work slower, at least you get resources. Because the problem right now is that once those gold pile runs out, he has no more access to gold.
Yeah.
In his base, it's a little or very few. The new one in the castle is also going to go dry, and then all the map control is currently belonging to Syn. Syn is already on the neutral gold and
But he
house
has
wall.
enough
everything
time
out.
to kind of think on it still, cause there's like 2.4k gold on this left side still, and there's like what? Well, no, that's too much. Wait, let's zoom in so we can check. There's like 1700 gold still inside the base as well. So he's not out by any means yet in terms of gold
Oh, could be.
available to him. So I'd say,
I'm more a minute in the long run.
but right now, okay, so he has clicked up himself as well. And DmBent's knight was converted by Syn somewhere. We missed that on the map, unfortunately, but it has happened. And let's see
And
where
Bent
that
is
knight
already
is now.
tacking into light cav. I think he wants to raid, which is not the easiest thing on this map, and especially how Syn has built up
Yeah.
his base. There is down center safe
Like,
for
the
almost
funniest
every
part is, for example, if he starts hitting here, he might destroy the house and things like, okay, I mean, then you have a second wall to go through.
exactly.
So on a few places there's not a two-layered wall, but it seems like Syn is just gonna be adding layers of defense here.
And this is going to be EU spam in choke point versus gunpowder units,
Okay,
which
the
is
knights are in
that's
here
good.
because there was an overchop, so we'll get at least 2 Willy kills here. Okay, we get the
Oh, yeah.
one for now. It's just gonna be the one, it appears.
Yeah, he lost one night, as you were saying. I think Syn realized in type good reactions.
Yeah. And let's go just full organs and trebs as win. I mean, that could work for sure, but kind of really passive. Like, I didn't mind it earlier on, but now it feels a bit too passive from both of them. And
The
but
problem for Syn is that he doesn't really have the options in Imperial Age to deal with the enemy, and he still doesn't. He now just has the first trap push it out, while the enemy has already 3 castles.
Yep.
Full organ production, tacking into light cap behind it. This will be really bad for Syn if he cannot defend his base. I think this is the scenario where you really have to stonewall the side of your bases.
yeah, but also like this was like cap ram research, and the rams just die out like that. I think we waited
Yeah.
too long for these rams to see what they were gonna do to just see this happen. But they are
Cap
getting
ram
some
were
of these
never the
houses
choice.
down and opening up a corridor at least for a while. And we do have Eldorado Eagles in now. So Eldorado Eagles completed for Syn, and he has 26, soon to be 30 of them on the field, with nice upgrades on them, just missing 1 level on both. Ooh, organ guns, organ guns, where are we going? We are donating organ guns, we are donating organ guns. I guess that's why they're
Yeah.
organ guns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never thought about that one. Oh, yeah, I think that was a disaster for Ben.
It's because
He
they're
still have
getting
resources.
donated. Okay, let's go.
Trebuchets are coming out though, and I think Ben doesn't have to push. He is not on a timer. Syn is currently.
Okay, let's see.
Although his eco is wide open, if he loses the castle, he likes the mobility right now.
Will the organ guns get hit? Oh, okay, yep. We have a nice mango hit. And then again, why are we sending the organ guns so far forward? Let's leave them out of the range of the tower, of the castle. Let's hit the castle.
And Syn is in.
Eldorado Eagles are in.
Ooh, And
Eldorado
nice
Eagles
mango
are
shot.
in. Another nice mango shot on this side. I'll zoom out just a bit so we can see everything that's going on this side. Repairing
They
the
are killing each
castle.
other.
Getting hit by 2 trebs for Syn. On this side, 2 trebs hitting that castle from Syn for DmBent. Organ
I
guns
really like
getting
this
hit by mangoes. Very low HP on them. Eldorado Eagles in and raiding some eco. Now hitting the villagers trying to repair the castle as well. The castle should go down very soon, even though it's being repaired. And there we go. The first
Yeah.
castle that DmBent has built has gone down, but now the only castle that Syn has also gone down. Syn has enough for another castle. Let's see where he wants to go with it. If he wants more trebs at any point, He's gonna need another castle up on the field.
Yeah, I would have put it where he put down the houses right now with the villagers.
Yep. We are pop capped for, oh sorry, we are housed for Syn. He lost some houses along the way as well, so needs to drop some panic houses right now, and he's doing so with a few vills.
And Syn was donating the eagles. Even if not all of them died, they are very, very weak, and now they are
Yep.
going to get shredded by the Gorgons. Unless Bent forgets to micro them, which is very likely, very likely possibility.
Also,
right
we
now.
have 20 more organ guns in queue, so the Red Cross is very happy with this one. Okay, and the
Oh,
traps
and
are gonna
Lightcap
go
got
down
checked.
for DmBent. The Eldorado Eagles found it.
Lightcaps are going to raid Syn and DQ shortly.
Okay, there we go. Oh, Syn, thank you for the follow, man. Thank you for the follow. And Pride, thank you for the clip. Thank you for the clip for sure.
Ooh,
Okay.
and Syn is really building an aggressive castle.
And
no,
we
actually,
see the raiding going
defense.
on this side, but there are some Eldorado Eagles here. So nice reaction from Syn to have those ready over on the side. We might have some monks for the main player here. So this will get sanitized pretty soon, and it's gonna be a castle back at home for Syn. And Syn again not far away from another castle.
The problem with Maya monks is they are the only mesobricative that doesn't have any redemption. So he will not be able to convert neither the organ guns nor the onagers.
I think we're
I
also at a
don't see what's
point
very
where
good
it's gonna be very hard to get conversions on the organ guns anyway, even if he could, because of the sheer number of them.
True. He can counter light cap, so to say, altogether the relics, but other than that, I don't think monks have much use in this game. Currently, at least in this Civ matchup, and I also don't think that Syn research any monastery technologies. So I guess it's just for the relic play in the
Yeah.
long term.
We have some more light cav on the way, but these are not in big numbers, and there's gonna be a castle now here for every next time he attempts this. Eldorado Eagles still in this TC, they should probably run out and kill these guys. But who am I to tell them what to do?
I think Bent forgot to research arquebus, which would give ballistics to all gunpowder units, and I think that is why the Eagles can just run in and run out.
Yep.
And take next to no damage, which is a huge problem. All the archers and all the Eagles would have been shredded by them.
This game is all over the place, so we have these light cav on this side trying to do some raiding. We have Eagles running in on this side, DmBent abandoning this side of his base. We have organ guns right and left. We have Eagles running all over the place. We have Trebs slowly hitting at stuff.
Eco KD. I think it's the story right now.
I mean, yeah, Syn has a double eco lead thanks to the 74 eco kills.
Yeah.
And it's pretty much the Eldorado Eagles. Yep, I mean...
Yeah,
as weird it is to say for somebody who has like 30 organ guns with more in queue, but look at what the Eagles are doing, look at the mango shots, and look at the ability of Syn to replenish his army, and DmBent realizes it as well. So it's gonna be game 1 for Syn, very nicely played. Syn just in time to see himself win for the second time.
Honestly, I'm surprised it worked out, but Syn made every right move in Imperial Age, I would say.
Yep.
It was a little bit questionable before that. But Bent, he cornered himself in and couldn't really use any of the mobility that he was planning to. He missed crucial technologies as well, and after all, Syn just made the correct move by not addressing army, addressing the eco, and the death ball was currently not being able to achieve anything.
As strong as the organ guns are, like this is what 25 Eagles right here. There's 51 in total on the field, and they have 100 HP each with full upgrades on them. So it's and they're gonna cut the distance in no time either. So this is a point at which it's hard to beat them no matter who you are and what you do. Fully upgraded elite Eagle warriors
but
with
Eagles
100
supposed
HP.
to be vulnerable to gunpowder units. It didn't work out.
Yep. But yeah, definitely a great game 1. A great game 1, kind of passive in the start, but then it got a lot more active in the later stages, and that's an interesting interlude, I would say, from game 1. So this means we'll be going over to it will be Mediterranean next, DmBent's home map pick, and let's just mark it here that the Mayans have won game 1 and that the Portuguese have lost game 1, or a game. it does not say which one they lost, but we know it's game 1. So we're gonna be going over to the Mediterranean. Let me just switch you over as always to the be right back screen so you don't get yourself spoiled at what the choices are here. Nope, sorry, I clicked the wrong thing here for myself.
I currently pose the second three.
Okay. And let's see, we are loading into game 1 and let's start off. So we are on the Mediterranean. We have Syn playing as the Burgundians and DmBent playing as the Persians. So sticking to his guns, wants the faster producing dogs and TCs, not going with the Armenians that he got on the random civ pick that are usually very strong on water maps like Mediterranean. But compared to like Crater Wake that we see played a lot here, like Mediterranean does have a lot of more land, and the land fighting can be a lot more important.
Yeah, this is more of a close, I would say, spanning on both TCs. And the map kinda looks like a lake again, because the water is surprisingly missing between the two players, so this can be easily real match. I think Syn chosen the best random save that he got for the map, and going to capitalize on an early eco upgrade research just in case to be competitive on water, but we might be in a position when water might not be a huge play in this game based on the generation of the map.
Yeah, well, it's also I've seen in this tournament especially on the games that I've casted from the Mediterranean that it's not so weird to have this kind of generation. And last time around, I feel like, and I'm already kind of forgetting. Don't mind that, please. Like, there's really a lot of games to cover here, but I do feel that there was an even closer generation for two of the players that I watched play, where it was like from here to here, basically. But yeah, this kind of happens decently often enough. Both players are on the south side, and the water kind of north for both of them.
DmBent is already up a villager, but that is due to the Persian faster working
Yeah,
TC.
exactly. And we can see that the idle TC damage basically perfect for both at this point.
It's nothing at this point.
Yep. And yeah, of course, they have faster working TCs, so that kind of shows in situations like this, but it's like nothing to write home about just yet.
Persians also get 50 extra wood, so most likely Bent will be faster upon water, which could
and we
result
have a
in
villager going
advantage.
forward over towards the water, but no, actually, he just wants to drop a house here to maybe start a wall off on this side.
It might be house into dock, to be honest.
Yeah, it does seem logical. Otherwise, I don't think you would want to be taking this villager so far away from everything else.
Yeah. Already banged up 200 wood, so it will be instantly a fishing ship.
Yep. Let's see.
Syn is pushing in there in the meantime. I really hope that he is going to research an early double B-tax to get a lot of wood.
Yep, and could help with water presence. So they're actually docking at the same time pretty much. It's just gonna be a build speed advantage for DmBent, nothing else.
Yeah, I think it might be a game when the fishing ship will meet each other when they get popped out.
Really possible here, because how close they are, and with both of them going like a bit to the right and a bit to the left, like even the docks are now closer to each other than maybe would be expected.
And not to mention, it's not only the town center that Persians have bonus on, but also the docks. Extra HP on them as
exactly.
well. So
that's what I assumed is that's what I assume is the reason DmBent also went with Persians here in the end. So maybe he wants to win the boom fight.
Both are a solid civ, but I think Syn will have a trouble competing with the Persians on water. He really has to have at least one extra dock to be able to pull it off.
But right now we're not seeing it does not seem like DmBent will be interested in pushing the deer in. Because Syn has pushed all but one in. And he's also going for the second boar right now. And this boar is like running away from the map at this point.
Okay, Bent is walling up the side where the enemy is absolutely not there, so on the north.
Yeah.
I understand the sentiment, but this is lack of scouting, I should say.
Now let's see actually what the scouting looks like. So
Yeah, I don't think either player has
yeah,
counted the other one, to be honest. So.
Syn has not really moved out of his base because he was pushing in the deer, so he has very little knowledge of anything. And ironically, like the side to his right is the least scouted one. Where his houses end is where his knowledge of the map ends. On the other side, DmBent, kind of similar story, but he is moving to the right and he's trying to deny Syn possibly ever coming from the right side. We can see him walling off there with the house and some palisades.
Syn is researching Loom. I think he miscalculated his age up.
Okay, but now he's up. Yep.
Okay, he's up. Okay.
He's going up now. It's not gonna be far behind for the DmBent. He clicks as well behind 2 villagers. Maybe he wants to cancel one, or no? Does not look like he'll be canceling it in the end.
He will age up faster a little bit, and also Syn research double bit X, which I'm happy for.
Yep.
Currently it is 3 fishing ship to 3 fishing ship. I guess they refuse to make more. But then again, usually you don't want to over-invest fish, especially if you don't know where the enemy is, or if you don't know you're up faster, because if you lose your fishing ship, that is just wasted food.
Yeah, I mean, I'm also wondering if we are gonna see some feudal aggression this time around, because the Syn was like considering it even on boglands, and this is a map which I would say allows for more aggression. On the other hand, they both went up on villager numbers or eco numbers that seem more suitable for a fast castle than anything else.
Yeah, Syn scouted Bent. Bent is still in.
And we see the fishing ships finding each other as well. They just did for now.
Bent is going to find a dock soon. Yep. He found the house right now.
He's purposely scouting it as well. We can see he used 2 of the fishing ships to go around and
Will he the TC? Will he the TC? No, Syn didn't garrison in time. But he's up to feudal age faster and...
Not queuing up? Okay, there we go, queuing up the fire galley just now.
Fine. I don't think more than 1 fishing ship will be killed for Bent if he queues up, and he's already queuing up 2 fire galleys. I'm a little bit surprised that both of them are going with only 1 dock. But,
yeah, I was just about to say, like, DmBent even had enough to be dropping the second dock until a few moments ago.
Queuing up 4 fire galleys is too much. You should just queue up 2 at most. Make a second dock.
Okay, so there is a second dock for DmBent. It's just on the right where his wall off was. So he's queuing up 2 from there and 2 from the starting one.
Okay, I didn't see that. I think what he should do is send the fishing ships there, further away, and just try and capitalize on his advantage. Both of them have fire galleys. They will met. None of them have any bonuses. For the fire galleys or any other fishing ships, but in the long term, Persians are better on water.
Yeah, but it does appear that Syn will win the initial fight ever so slightly. Or nope, it's gonna be a tie.
Rare, but it can occur.
Yeah, thank you, Arbis. Was able to notice it in the end because I noticed there was 4 in queue and there was only 2 queued up in this dock, so did look on this side and realized it was there. So it's gonna be some hurt on the fishing economy of Syn. Yep.
Bent is a little bit playing it safe, but I don't mind it.
Yep. Don't think Syn will actually overinvest into it now, seeing that there's more fire galleys. Probably can assume that there's 2 docks for the opponent. Maybe a demo ship? No, actually more fire galleys. No second dock in sight yet, though. But nearly finishing his wall off and wants to do some land damage here. So, but nicely done from DmBent back at home because most of his resources like gold and one of the lumber camps is also walled off.
And he's going double stable into light cap, which can work out. Luckily for Bent, he is walled off, but not on the Northwood line. Nor on
there's a spearman there, I guess, and it's not far away from the TCs. Like, I mean, that far away that it's out of the range, so to say. So these guys would have to fight the spearman and then go through TC fire most of the time. Yeah. And he's already pulling off the wood villies here, DmBent, knowing that these guys are coming. Oh, does leave the goats exposed?
I think he can disrupt a little bit of the eco, but due to the fishing ships, Bent has currently a better eco, and also
some villagers will be found here.
Oh yeah.
Okay, Syn finds the villagers. Syn finds the villagers.
No upgrade on the night caps.
But there's at least 1 kill happening.
I think it's decent. But the problem for Syn currently, I would say, is that light cats don't rescale, especially against Persians because they lack bloodlines.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And now Sin wants to hop out with these galleys and then try to fight this water situation. Does have 3 galleys out, but there's 5 galleys out for DmBent already.
And there is absolutely no micro from Syn. I don't think Bent is microing away the weakest one,
Yep.
or at least trying to. So I think water is now gone for Syn.
Yep.
He's still on 1 dock. Bent is now making his third. I think he's going to, after the dock is done and scouted that there are no other water play for Syn, I think he's going to transition into a food
Full
or
land,
fish boom. Yeah, Syn is now queuing up demos. I think he can kill the 2 fire ships, but if Bent goes back, there is no chance for him.
Yep, our base has 5 equally still for Bent with the fish. I mean, yeah, and I think that's only gonna get worse for Sin in the, from here onwards, thanks to the situation. But Sin could abuse and click up. Does have the buildings required as well. DmBent actually with 0 builds required.
I don't like how Bent is stacking already into farming eco. Scouts are taking bad fights, so bad engagements against the spear. Still, they are getting value. Bent has to focus on at home.
Yep.
And
That's like,
faster.
I don't know, like the 4 spearmen right now from Bent seem a bit maybe as an overinvestment at this point, because you're going a spearman per scout at this point.
And Bent is already queuing up fishing ships, so he will have a much healthier echo, even if up later. Syn now when constructing the third stable, I think this might be not only knights but cavaliers and castle age.
Yeah, very true.
And taking back the goats as well.
Because we're having more stables now as well. And DmBent actually is doing this stuff in terms of water by the book. Adding more fishing ships, added more docks, split up his fire galleys if there was any possible demolition ship to come out. Even use this one to patrol around the coast to make sure that Syn is not trying to redock somewhere else. So he's definitely did everything he should to secure water for himself, and it's working out
Syn
great
is
for him
not
now.
trying to get back on water on the north. He might be successful, but galleys are still there, and I think he will patrol into it.
Yep. And 30 seconds for Syn to be in castle, and DmBent just now clicking up, so there's gonna be a small window, and we're gonna have more and more stables from Syn here.
This is the 4th stable for Syn. I think he wants to end the game with Cavaliers, which is not a bad idea.
Not a bad idea, but look at the economy numbers for food. Like, we're gonna need more to be able to research and get Cavaliers on the field.
Instant Cavalier for Syn, and Bent is now also tacking into stables. I think he notices what is going to come and going to use the Persian camels.
Also, I don't like the wall off from Bent now. Like, this is a big wall off and this is palisades. But if like you're expecting Cavaliers, when Cavaliers come, you're not gonna be able to get here in time, and they're not gonna be stopped by palisade walls either.
Not enough villagers and the walls are too far away, in my opinion. Like, I understand why he doesn't want to waste stone because he wants to go into 3 TC boom, but I really don't like the timing of it. Also, on the space there are no upgrades. At least you should have he has the attack upgrade, but I think that is because he is stacking into or planning to tack into camels.
Also,
I think you should get infantry armor.
And I think DmBent is making this wall off harder on himself than it should be. Like, this northern part of the wall that's just being built here, like, he could have just completed it from the wood line to the sea here.
Yeah.
Our base
I think,
have had a great night.
Yeah, I think instead of that falling at the cliffs, it should have been walls between the 2 stables and just a solid line. You can pop up camels outside.
Yep. We are having some camels now in queue for DmBent, who are out on the field as well. Now, you probably will disagree with me here, but honestly, from my experience playing so far, I hate camels. I don't think they ever do as much as I need them to do. And they are good for the mobility, but whenever possible, I just rather go like pike into halb.
Camels are not bad. Basically, you get the mobility, and also even if you are taking fights and you are losing, they are much more cost effective than losing a knight.
Yep.
I'd rather lose a camel than I would lose a knight, and in this case, the camels are also a little bit less in a position because they are being attacked by the cavalry technology. But I think if you have camels and pikes or camels and hobs, I think you're in a position that the enemy cannot engage cost effectively. You are going to
Yep.
throw away numbers, and it is happening
Yep.
right now.
Also, I think with what Syn wanted to do, I think he needed a bigger mass of these cavaliers and to group them more. And I do like
Yeah,
the monastery out from DmBent as well.
it should have been knights and then get the cavalry upgrade. Like you need mass. I think it's always better to have army and then upgrade them than having no army and then just having fully upgraded. Like I'd rather have 10 archers with fletching and botkin than having one expo
Yep.
with no upgrades. Not really good. Also, Bent is still causing issues with the fire galleys, and I think he scouted the dock
Also,
attempt from Sins.
something I don't want to forget to do. Let's give a shout out to our buddy Jürgen and Deserto and thank him for the sub as well. I said I would do it today, but we all know how my memory usually goes, so it took me a while here. Just kind of recollected it now, so wanted to do while I do remember it.
Currently, Bent is on 12 fishing ships, and he's actually attempting to drop a dock near the enemy stuff center.
Yep, look at this. Like he's just gonna coast by here, because he can even protect it from
Yeah, it's fine.
from the sea here.
Syn is not tacking into Nightcap, but I don't think
Actually,
this is the right
I
play
don't
right
think
now.
he clicked it up correctly because okay, now he does it. Like the villager was first just taking the shorefish without building the dock. Yep, this was like kind of. I do like like what Justin Black and White is saying. I do like this wall off in the north for DmBent. What I didn't like is that wall off came a lot before the main wall came.
Yep.
So we were like trying kind of defending ourselves from the sneak, but not from the full-on frontal attack. Which is kind of a weird decision, I'd say.
Syn is not tacking into every single upgrade that can. He got Lightcap, he's now getting Pikeman. But I honestly think that the resources are looking good for Bent. Even though they have the same villager number, there are 12 fishing ships working for Bent currently. The enemy cannot really get back into the game via docking, and Bent is just going over around the pond with the villager and putting down on every single short place that exists. So there is no way for Syn in the late game to get back without notice on the water.
Yeah, and also I would like point out that just 1 second, sorry. So we are seeing the camels actually hitting and trying to destroy some of the forward infrastructure.
And 3 stable immediately followed forward by Bent as well, so it's going to be 5 stable.
Yeah. What I wanted to say was like, yeah, but I still that's why I like to say this. Like, it's not just the villager count. I like to say this is now a 14 eco lead for DmBent.
Exactly.
So yeah, it's not like the fishing ships are full on like villagers, but these are 12 food units basically.
Yeah, but free food income is free food income.
Yeah, exactly. And with this many on wood as well, whenever this all runs out, which is not gonna be in a while still, but when this runs out, you can fish boom without any interruption. Your opponent's never getting back on water at this pace. And we're gonna have another TC as well.
Bent is going to lose his army due to the pikeman. I don't really like that he's continuing to make or over-invested into commas this much.
I don't think he's looking right now. I don't think he was looking.
He noticed.
He noticed
in the end.
But to be fair, with 26 on wood and this many pikes, I wouldn't mind the crossbows from the Persians.
Yeah, but I think he's going to get Imperial first.
Yeah, very true. And he's gonna get light cav as well. Maybe he wants to do raiding.
Yeah,
he did try raiding on Bogland as well, so I'm expecting to try raiding here.
But here it is much more likely because he knows where the enemy is. It is close, and also he has a path open to the enemy base. Like Syn is is playing it open.
Just look at this. Like, one thing I have to say I really love about this game is how whenever a lot of units are hitting a building or something, it just looks so cool. Especially when they can do it in unison.
Yeah. When the attacking animation is synced up.
Yeah, when they will synced up, but even when they're not synced up, like all of these like pikemen just poking at buildings, it still looks cool. Even though you can imagine how
And
pointless in reality it sounds, like just a bunch of guys with spears poking at buildings. Kind of a Caligula thing or whatever. I don't
I
know.
think Syn is trying to get the defensive
Yep.
castle down. He
Okay,
knows
so
that
we
damage
have
is important.
22 pikemen here hitting these tables and we are queuing knights inside of them for DmBent. No, not liking that move.
Hera said that in early castle knights counter a pike, but he didn't say anything about late castle age halberdiers
I
countering
mean,
knights.
as true as that is, as you said, first of all, we're not in early castle. Secondly, that also kind of on a 1v1 situation. Like, getting two
Yeah.
knights out to 22 pikemen, I just wouldn't do it.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
Videra, hello. Hello, thank you for joining.
Ooh, and Light Vision trying to deny the castle.
Yeah,
It's not going to
but
happen.
it's gonna
But
be
still,
too little too late. Like,
Bent
we
is
are
up to
getting some
Imperial.
eco kills. And yep, Bent is going up to Imperial, but we have enough resources for Syn as well. Maybe as soon as this castle is up, he should be
He
doing it
is
too.
actually, yeah, he didn't have the second building. He was forcing down the university in the meantime.
Oh, okay, yeah. There we go. He's clicking up as well behind some villagers, I guess.
And getting
Yep.
customers. He's building barracks, so he wants to go with the infantry.
We have more
He-
boys poking at buildings here. And
I
almost in
think-
unison.
Syn is in a tricky position right now. But
I'm-
I don't know what the ideal play for him right now, to be
Yeah.
honest.
But also, I kind of feel like Syn is really in both games like mastering his responses compared to DmBent, who I think kind of seems in both
He's
games has kind of blundered the lead a bit. I think he was in a better position both games. I think
Okay.
with the lead he had over in getting water as well, DmBent could have done a lot more. But we are now with
Yeah.
equal eco numbers for both of
Bent
them.
is trying to drop two stables behind Syn base and just raid out. Also, Syn is now getting vineyards, meaning that even if he loses gold access, the farmers will generate gold.
Yep.
Currently, he has 41 farmers. That is roughly 2 relics.
You see, guys, this is why I love Emma, because I was about to say that Syn is researching Burgundian vineyards, and Emma's gonna tell us exactly what that does. Because, to be honest, like I'm not seeing Burgundians that often, and I haven't played them myself, so I was kind of.
I used to
unsure.
main them all the time.
Oh, you used to main them as well. Nice. Okay, so we had a monk here try to convert the dog, but DmBent sees it in time and actually deletes. Very nice. And Syn expanding on the other side as well, so we'll try to hit it to hit the opponent's base from this side as well.
Yeah, the enemy is fully bought there though.
Yep. And here we go with the archery. Here we go with the archery ranges for DmBent, as you mentioned. He's trying to drop down 7 archery ranges, probably for all these bikes.
Yeah, either it's going to be trash bows, or I'm not sure if Persians have hand canaries, to be honest.
Yeah.
I know that Burgundians have, and they have really good ones due to the
Yeah.
seed bonus where they get 20% damage on gunpowder units.
Yep.
And camels are dying.
They do. Just in black and white says they do. So
good,
they do
good.
as well. But it might still be the trash bows. I wouldn't mind the trash
Yeah,
bows with this much
I
lead.
think trash bows here, faster productions as well, and also while they don't have arbalest, the Burgundians also don't have bloodlines on the paladins. It's not the best, and if you have halberdiers in front, I think it can work.
Yeah. But we are seeing the exact same thing as in game 1. DmBent has more castles end up to Imperial first, since first castle was offensive, so he loses it before getting trebs out in time. And now he has to build one back at home to get trebs eventually. He is getting the Hussar upgrade, so we can expect Syn to once again be trying some raiding. We remember how good the Eagle raids worked out for him
And
last game.
chemistry is in as well, or trying,
Ooh,
or
yep.
will be in soon.
And Blast Furnace on the other side for DmBent, who has helps of his own on the field, and there's like 20 of them.
Honestly, my problem is that currently all those archer ranges
Are not being built.
They were placed, but they are just there as foundation.
I'm concerned that he was maybe having his villagers on wood when he clicked it, so they have it like after doing the wood.
Yeah, possible. Or I don't know. Or maybe it was the villager building the castle and they
Yeah.
were killed. I don't know when he placed them down,
Also,
to be
the
honest. But yeah,
Hussars are in on the north side now for Syn, and this eco from this TC is getting hit, and the DmBent is not noticing it. So we're having some
uh,
kills there, but I think we're now finally noticing that we're not building the archery ranges. I think the DmBent probably wanted to queue
yeah.
up some archers, and then realized like where are all my
Uh,
archery
Lucky for
ranges?
him, he has 25 halberdiers, which is more than enough to deal with
The Hussars so
the
far, yeah.
hussars.
But we
Yep,
do
they are
see
just out of
Syn
position.
going to the like hero numbers of farms, like 50 on farms basically to support the Hussar production. And it's gonna
Also,
be paladins as well.
Syn noticed the sables behind and took care of it, and also dropped the castle defending. DmBent should have all the advantage, but I think he's missing the window of the timings on every single thing, and
Yep.
he is on the back foot, even though he has
And look
more
at the
resources
raids.
collected.
Look at the Hussar raids going on. His halberdiers are way out of space, just chilling next to a dock, while his eco is getting massacred here.
I wouldn't say that game one was a throw from him, but game two definitely is.
Definitely is, yeah. Like I wouldn't say the game one was a throw either as well, but I would say he was in a
Yes.
really good position, and then it was Sin that reacted better to the situation at hand. This time around, I think he just straight up threw it because he had that much water
Yep.
control and that much
4k
of an eco
gold
lead.
and nothing being produced other than halberdiers.
Yep.
Like at this time, even if it's just a meme, you could just create
Yep.
elephants and send them out or something,
Yep.
anything.
Also, we are having paladins in now, and paladins are gonna be streaming across the DmBent's base as well. So Sin doing a really good job, and I said I'm really impressed with Sin's uh, adaptations in every single game so
So
far,
am
and
I.
it's a win for Sin.
And Bent is calling it. I think this was a misplay from Bent after
Mm-hmm.
Imperial.
Yep.
He didn't do anything. He had the lead on water. I think if nothing else, he could have dropped fish traps and get a faster food eco.
Yep.
He couldn't capitalize on the advantage that he had.
Yep. Very nice play. I mean, generally very nice play for both. Like unlucky for DmBent that he has like thrown away his lead at some point, but then again, all credits to Sin for the way he adapted to every single possible situation and got himself back up in the lead and in a winning spot once more. I think Bent what he could have done to prevent these raids from happening is like, as we said, we liked this wall off and this idea, but he could have added stone walls later on, and these Khazars would take so long to get in, and long enough for him to like react and add more layers of defense here as well.
Yeah, or just a defensive castle on the north side. He also had all the docks serving as outposts, but he ignored it.
Yep.
I guess he was busy reacting in other places. There were multiple ways he could defend it.
Mm-hmm.
Sadly, it didn't work out. Let's hope that it's going to be favor is going to be in his
Yeah.
in
And now
game
we
3.
are going to be seeing African clearing as the third game. And out of the remaining civs, Sin has Poles and Cumans that he got from the random picks, and he has Chinese out of the ones he chose. While DmBent on the other side has Vietnamese and Armenians from the random civs and Berbers from his own. So what do you, Emma, expect to see and what would you like to see?
I think Chinese was picked for this map and this strategy.
Mm-hmm.
But I think humans could do very well here.
Mm-hmm.
I think for Bent, I have a soft spot for Vietnamese, but yeah, I think I would go Vietnamese.
Yeah. Could be Vietnamese, could like Berbers also a very strong civ as well. Armenians are interesting if you wish to make it like an very offensive early game where you can get out the
It could
upgrade that
work.
you get for infantry. I guess that would work as well.
Yeah, it really I think for Armenian it really depends on where you spawn and where the enemy TCs is, how far. If you are close to the enemy, I think you can steamroll the enemy. If you are far apart, then it is questionable.
Yep. Yep, it depends. And for the Vietnamese, if he does go that way, it's also gonna help him like find the opponent right away if they end up
Yep.
not being that close as well. So let's not keep you all in suspense because we can actually know what they picked anyway. So let's just I'm putting you on the be right back screen. So as always, you don't get spoiled. Only I know the civs as we are loading in. Let's see. So we are heading over to African clearing, and it will in fact be the two civs that they have picked for themselves remaining. So it's Chinese into Berbers here. So Chinese for Syn,
Interesting.
Berbers for DmBent. Final game of this set between the two of them. Will Syn take a clean 3-0, or will DmBent be able to crawl one back and get himself a point in this set?
I don't like that Sim plays the house right away with Chinese here. Especially after TCs give more population.
Yep.
He could have Roger town center faster, but it's not a cardinal sin.
But maybe something he was kind of from after game one being kind of
It could be.
mindful. Like he knows what happened to him game one, so he doesn't want to be caught up in the same situation again. And that's I would say possible as well. And very close start. It's always funny to me because somehow it feels like it's almost like a 75% odds of this happening, even though there's no reason for this to be happening. All three get their 3 villagers randomly placed around, and they end up really close to each other as well. In most cases that I see these nomad starts.
Ben's DC placement. The fish is super far. I understand why it is closer to the wood, but I think it should have been on the side between the food and the shorefish.
Yeah. And I guess they noticed the treaty thing because they wrote in chat. We can see it right now. They have been writing in chat that should we restart because they're very close. He said like, let's just play it out. It's bedtime and I've been shoveling snow all day. Says DmBent.
Nice.
Yep.
I'm not sure how much.
I guess he did get bent from all the snow.
Very good.
I know you love these jokes. I should get you more.
Yeah, I think it's good.
Yeah. I should get you more often to do the co-cast and then just do the puns.
Yeah, I don't mind. And Bent has been blessed by Pride himself currently.
Yep.
He's rushing up the house, and those. I'm not sure how much of a nomad player Bent is, because usually what I didn't like is that he plays the house down first, which is something the Chinese can avoid. But he's also taking the hunt before the fish. But the shorefish is actually, I think, is faster than taking hunt, and you also have to force drop off with it.
Yeah, very true.
And he's struggling with food right now. I think had he plays the TC where he plays the house, he would have a much better start.
Yeah. Also, just a question for chat. Do you hear any background noises from me? And do you hear the memo as well? Like, do you hear anything in the background here, or is it all good? I think it should be fine then, because nobody's complained so far. Because it's really funny to me, because my best man is here with the... with my wife, and they're rewatching the wedding, so I can hear the wedding music as well. So, but yeah.
I'm not going to make any jokes about this situation right now, but okay. I can't. Neither can I hear anything in the background, to be honest. Syn has decided to drop a landberg camp far away from the enemy. I don't mind it, but it's not optimal.
Yeah, and I guess he can wall it in as well if he's concerned it will be found at some point.
Syn is really struggling with food. He has already lost all the almost all the villager advantage he has due to China's start.
Yep, and does have 50 seconds of idle TC time, which is kind of, we are in a bit higher elos, and both of these players, and I've checked, like, and we've checked when they signed up as well, they had like higher max elos as well than what this shows right now. So both these players were near like 1300 at some point as well. So this kind of the idle TC time kind of, I'd say a bit more important than when me and you play, Emma.
Yeah, could be also on Nomad. You have to make your own luck, and I think Syn really didn't make it for him. Neither did Bent, but I think currently Bent is in a much better position.
Yep. Also, Syn, yeah, we saw that you typed about it. To be fair, like, you did not have to like replay it either, because usually that you would only need to do it if you're really like hitting each other with the TCs from the very start. But you have enough space between each other that it's fine still.
And currently the villagers number are that even.
Yep, that even.
No, that Bent is now idling, so sadly, there it goes.
And
he has been pressed by Pride again for a second time.
Yeah, exactly. Blessed by Pride once more, because Pride is in the chat. Also, I think I've said it, but hi Blake. nice to see you, or BP dog. And yep, I mean it's kind of cool for the Chinese start that you get kind of you get that lead, so you have like a freebie if you kind of idle for a
Yeah.
bit. You get a free pass for the start. He's back in the eco lead now again.
Yeah, Pride made sure about it.
Pride with an assist to Syn right here.
I think Bent will be up faster, but who knows? Ooh, what I really don't like is that Syn is currently sending forward villagers to the shoreline, but doesn't have the route to drop off a meal.
Yeah.
It will be
So
long
this
distance.
is very, very inefficient. Like this guy carrying all this fish, he might get his back a bit DmBent.
Keep it going, Kaja. Keep it going. I love it.
I have more of these, like, and I hope DmBent watches the VOD as well.
And I hope you appreciate it as well.
Yep.
That you're making joke at his expense. Yeah, Bent is now dropping barracks. I don't know what will be the follow, but I think he will be up faster and he can pressure Syn.
Yep. Both players close to being able to click up here as well. And we are seeing barracks for both, one up, one almost up here. So we might be seeing some
Bent is
aggression
up.
between them very, very soon.
Both of them are up.
Yep, both of them clicked up nearly at the same time, but it's like 3 seconds advantage for DmBent. I like how they're both going around with the mills, taking the hunt and the shorefish and the elephants as well. That's something.
Yeah, but
really
it's free
cool.
food.
Exactly.
I think the 100 wood investment's really worth it.
But it's one of the reasons why I was still thinking like it would be cool if DmBent went with the Armenians. You get like a trade card going and you just go around with some bunch of villagers and keep taking this with no additional wood expense.
You cannot drop off shorefish.
You can drop off
to
shorefish,
walk
true,
up.
but you can get all of the hunt.
True. Could work.
Because this way we
Yeah,
have
yeah,
like
yeah.
this
Yeah,
100,
but
200.
since but most of the zebras are near shoreline, so I think it's worth it to drop off a meal instead.
Yep.
I can see an argument for going or sending on like 4 villagers and taking out everywhere. It's not a bad move. I just think that Berbers compared to Armenians have a much better play.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, we are like also, when you do this, you are running the risk of your opponent going like light cav or scout cav in this case, and
Stable
far.
for Bent right away.
Yep, exactly. So he might be on the prowl looking for these wood villies somewhere on the side, for this shorefish villies and stuff like that, and it can be very
He's
valuable.
not on gold. So I don't think this is going to be a fast castle. Also, he's preemptively bracing down a half just in case it don't get blessed by your truly Pride.
Yeah. And there we go, there's a lot. There's a 5 scouts right away on
Right.
going on
Oh,
the
I
field
love
for
the
DmBent.
aggression. I think
Yep.
he's doing what he failed to do in the previous game and just punish the enemy early on.
And this is like why, I mean, I'm gonna say it, like I think Magyars would be great on this map as well, as when your opponent there has a high chance of doing something like this. But then again, I would say that for Magyars on most maps I am kind of biased.
It's hard to wall all your villagers in an open map like this, so
Yeah,
I think
very true.
there is definitely play for them.
We have another mill, so I think there's nothing more costly than mills on this map so far for both. Just costly in terms of resources, it's not a bad move at all by any means.
Yeah, but I mean, I think it's worth it to trade 100 wood into 800 food.
Yeah, that's why I said, like, I don't mean it's costly in terms of it's not anything
Yeah, yeah.
wrong in any way. It's just literally in terms of the cost, the biggest cost so far were the. Okay, so we are gonna have a village kill
And-
here for sure.
Yeah,
At
Bent
least
is
one.
definitely capitalizing on, and he already dropped the blacksmith as well.
Yep, so he went probably forging to be able to kill them quicker, or I would assume so. Might be getting
Yeah.
two villy kills here. Nope, just the one so
No,
far.
only one.
I would have preferred him to see and try to block with one of them. Could have gotten
yeah.
a second kill as well.
At this hero, they are capable of doing so.
They are for
I
sure,
think
because I'm capable of doing so, which means these guys can do it.
Yeah, but also
And
keep
it's
in mind
very
this
fun
is the
to do.
third game.
It's very
Yeah, but
fun
this
to
is
do.
this is the third game. They might be tired as well.
Yeah,
So,
okay, sorry. I got so confused. I thought you said this is a Serb game, and I was like, I'm not in it. What do you mean?
No,
No,
it
it's
says. Syn is now fast castling, which is a standard build or
yep.
a standard tactic.
And he's on his way
But
up.
yeah,
But
I
that's
think if he finds the wood
five more
villagers,
scouts in queue for DmBent.
I don't like this heavy scout
What league?
investment, to be honest.
Okay,
Like,
Resbu, we are in Silver League right now, and somebody will correct me if I'm wrong, or I'll correct myself later. This should be Group A. So with Syn, DmBent, Ellen Deal, and the fourth person who I apologize to right now. But there's 64 of you in the tournament. I really can't know it all by heart.
and I think it might be Gold Roger.
Yeah, yes, you're right. It's Gold Roger. So it's Syn, DmBent, Ellen Deal, and Gold Roger.
Ooh, I think Bent will find the wood villagers, and that will be really hard for Syn to lose all the wood villagers.
Also, I'm assuming some of you have rewatched some of the VODs by now or watched the casts, and so I'll be open about it that the results are in for a lot of the games in this group already. And the next round should be Gold Roger into Syn. I think that hasn't been played out yet. And if it has, I have to rewatch it myself. I think that one should be a blast. But Syn, correct me if I'm wrong, you two didn't play yet.
Bent has taken 2 villagers, but the problem is that he didn't have forging nor bloodlines on the scout,
Yep.
so he couldn't kill all the villagers
Yep.
on wood, sadly.
Has found some more here. Will lose a scout to fighting them, but now knows they're here and will be sending these guys over most likely as well. But these guys are on low HP as well. So he's in Castle Age. He's gonna drop
Yep.
a TC instantly here.
Syn is not doing as well. Ooh, the TC is going to get punished. The light
Yep.
caves are there.
Yep, there we go. We have some nice Philly kills. Like
Yeah.
Syn is in Castle, but he's like 10 villagers
Yep.
behind now with all this damage.
You
being done,
don't need
and
to
this
be
gets
in
denied.
castle. He's in a great position right now.
Exactly, look at
TC
this.
is the
TC denied, villager kills, that's now 9 eco kills. He does cancel the TC, will drop a second.
Look
life
at the
close
new
to first one.
TC. I think this is an extremely bad position.
Yep.
Like I understand why he's doing it. He needs gold access, and
Yep.
that is the only place he could go.
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
scout was sent.
There we go, Syn
Back to the
confirms
wood
it.
line.
It's gonna be him and Roger for places 1 and 2 in the group, it appears. Which is gonna be a pretty cool matchup. But yeah, Syn gets like
Yeah.
wrecked here in terms of the raiding. And yeah, this is a very, very unideal position for a second TC, but it's also telling like you're down to 21 villagers. You realize you need to be playing
Yeah,
catch up
and
now.
Bent realizes he doesn't need to force himself into Castle Age. He's researching the technology for the cavalry. He now has the attack. He now has the defense coming in. He has bloodlines as well. Do he have bloodlines? No, he doesn't have bloodlines as of yet.
Syn does
but
have
I guess
knights on
it
the
will
field.
make
He's trying to respond here, but like the knights are very strong. But with all the upgrades and there's like 10 scouts and the spearmen on field.
Yeah, also
DmBent is
Syn
able to
has
respond to it.
0 on food, 3 on gold. He's not going to be able to sustain production. He's already racking up idle TC time.
Yep.
He's behind roughly 20 villagers as well.
Yep.
This is going to look really rough from him.
It's going pretty rough so far. It's going pretty rough. So he's on 2 TCs but only 19 villagers. So basically double the eco down while being in castle and on 2 TCs means that the pressure from DmBent has really paid off
and
then paid off
soon-
really nice.
Not on the woodline, there will be overchop. He sent 1 light cav there, and I don't think Syn will notice when the scout can kill every single villager there.
And look at him just patiently
Bent picked
waiting
up.
here. I mean, not that patiently. Like this horse wants to have a go at it.
Ooh, that castle will be denied. Syn trying to drop a forward castle, but Bent has
Yep.
all the light cav there. He might
Yeah,
be
do
able
we
to
get this
wall
in
it
time?
up, but
Ooh,
Oh,
we get this in
actually-
time. Nice. And now
Nice,
we have
we
to
co-
go all the way around.
yeah, no. The house is not the house is not placed.
And he's
the
taking the
foundation
camel
is there,
back
but
that
0
way.
HP.
Ooh, what? Why are we not going through here?
No.
Why are we not going through here for DmBent? You can deny
I
this,
think this
but
is a
I love this
misplay.
idea. Yeah, but I love this idea from Syn.
Yeah,
We
he
need to
has to
make it
get back to the
messy
game,
now,
and this was
but
one
yeah.
way.
We'll be in Castle Age, though. We'll be able to get away from here himself.
Yeah, Bloodlines is being researched right now. Uh,
Yep.
Then, what I don't like is the food eco for Bent. And the scout is in. Scout is in not in the woodline. He already has. Oh no, Syn noticed it.
But thanks to the eco lead, like whatever we don't like for DmBent is still looking better than it does for Syn.
True.
Syn now with 19 villagers, out of which like 15 were basically idle. Only 4 on food were working.
Yeah.
We had to kill the scout here because he was in as we overchopped, and now they're also idle, kinda. I mean, yeah, pretty looking like messy for Syn, but he's kind of probably feels like he stabilized a bit with this castle, but now DmBent is in castle age himself. We'll just drop another DC over here. Can't really call
Not
it a second DC since the first one is just
yeah.
gone at this point.
Yes, and he's queuing up 2 knights. Luckily, the Berbers have an advantage on stable units, which is that they are cheaper in castle and Imperial Age.
But DmBent
So
does want to be on 2 TC, so he will drop another one afterward as well.
yeah, it might be not just because he wants to play the TCs, but also because it provides safety. He doesn't know how much army the enemy has.
Yep.
And I don't think it's a bad call.
Yep. And this TC will go in. I think that's a waste of army right now for
Immediate
Syn.
garrison right now.
This is all your army right
Yep.
now. You need to get the
Syn
hell away
has
from here.
nothing.
Yep.
I hate to say it, but I don't think you can compete with Berbers on stable play. I think the play would be Chokunu, but with 5 on food, or 5 on wood, 2 on gold, it's not going to be affordable.
Again, for Syn right now, he needs to find ways to like boom and catch up because you don't have eco for anything right now.
He has to get back in the game somehow, but I don't think Bent with 10 on actually 9 scouts right now
We do have
can
true
throw the game.
canoe, but we do have a single true canoe. At this point, this
Yeah,
might be a name and a surname at this point.
I mean, if it's it is repeating crossbow, but it's not going to be repeating fast enough against all this cavalry unit.
Yep.
Luckily, the micro for Bent was bad for Syn, so he was able to take out 2 light cav. But that one unit is not going to have a long
I
life.
wasn't really looking, but I guess it might be that from what I'm seeing right now, it's not even being micro. He's just sent them to kill them and following through on it.
Yeah, Kamara is
Now
bringing
proof
some
of that.
value. Like these are the values that Bent needs to take, like killing 4 units with 1 and keeping it alive. I wouldn't mind dropping a monastery to healing it up or geistering in the castle, but it doesn't have the resources for it.
Fair. I mean, this is not even raiding. This one true canoe right now is just a murderer, pretty much.
Yeah, I think I would just garrison it in the castle, so when the enemy sees the flag, you don't know how little army you have. Granted, he finds a villager kill, so I guess it's okay.
But I think still, like, I think DmBent needs to have a good understanding that based on what he has done to Syn so far, there really can't be a lot of them.
The score is not that far away, so I think that can throw him off.
Yeah,
but
that can be a bit
there is
misleading.
there is a hole on the wood line, and I think Bent is going to go back in.
And the scouts are going over there.
Yeah,
so
there
now,
is another shot.
unless he notices it in quick walls.
Even if he notices, I think this is the GG moment.
Okay, yeah, there we go. So that's gonna be the woodline economy on this side.
2 villagers safe temporarily, but I don't think they have a long line left.
Well, let's see. Actually, from the okay, he's gonna find them. I'm just thinking from the vision perspective. Like, are they able to get away? But no, not really. And those will be more Villy kills. So
and
again, 16 equal leads still for DmBent. He keeps piling on the pressure. And
yeah, Bent is dropping a defensive castle. I actually like that castle placement. He doesn't know how far ahead of this game, and he's also idling the TC a lot, so Syn is actually catching up. But that TC and that castle and the TC will have will be protecting each other with crossfire if Syn is walking in.
From one point, yeah, but what I'm thinking right now is you have these knights out in the field, you have the scout cav. I would use the scout cav scout around because right next to the barracks of Syn you can drop the castle that ranges both TCs.
He's actually doing it. He's sending the light cav around, and while Chukunu is not a bad unit, he doesn't even have fletching, and he's going to eat the castle fire soon. TM.
Yep. And right now.
Okay. Yeah.
Castle being a bit useless here. Okay, now it does hit them a bit. But I think he could have done a lot better here I mean, to be fair, I am kinda on the side of I want every castle to be an offensive castle. So
yeah. Here it would have made if Bent would have placed it next to the enemy's barracks, he could have denied both TCs and it would be GG.
Yeah, that would
but
be
I
GG.
don't think he has scouted it, to be honest.
Yeah, and also to be fair, like as we always need to point out, from our perspective, like a casting perspective, we see everything they don't, you know. So it's a lot easier for us to comment it from here, and have a good overview of everything from here.
Yeah, and now if you look at the score, now you should know that okay, the score is not that close any longer, so you are in advantage. I think the problem was that the score difference was actually just scouting and water because
the Tukanu might die out now. They're being chased away by all the knights. Also,
Yeah.
Resbu, I see what you mean in terms of securing this hill for the castle, but I think he wanted it between the TCs to garner himself some more protection for his two TCs.
I generally think that here in early console age it was better where he placed it, but he could have secured the gold, but then the enemy could just walk around the castle. Here he cannot really, unless he touches the TC where the villagers is going near the relic. He will not be able to find more damage, and also Bent is now back on 3 town centers as well.
But I'm actually not back. This is the first time he will be on 3 TCs.
But no.
I mean,
I
this
think
one
he.
was up for a bit, maybe.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
but I'm kind of worried for DmBent once again because now Syn is able to
Yeah,
get more
Syn is
army out
getting
on
back.
the field, and he's closer in terms of equal. Like this is only a 6 equal lead now. It was 16 when he was down to only 20 and had no army on the field, and now this is 11 true canoes and 5 camel riders and nearly a equal number of villagers around. So
What I like to is that he is building 3 stables, and I think he's going to produce from all 3 of them. But the problem is that while he can sustain night production, he will not be able to sustain 9 and villager production.
Yep.
He also doesn't refilling the farms because he's having wood issues. So it's going to be good. I think he needs a market and just abuse the ever-living hell
I
out
mean,
of it.
I would like if like okay, so maybe he won't be able to like continue the boom, but in this point then I would prefer that if he abuses the market a bit, gets a big ball of these knights, like win the battle or just start raiding. Like if you force one fight and win it, you can end the game off of it. You can continue just
And Syn
going
is
forward.
now dropping a third town center.
And that's kind of the problem, you see. Also, DmBent continues returning to where the wood line was, but he's not finding anything there. So it's kind of tunnel visioned on the idea of hitting the eco where it used to be.
Yeah, he's using
he's
the sheep to
scouting as
scout
well.
the enemy, but there is nothing there. There is nothing there. And he already has an army advantage lead, and also he has all the technologies, while
Also,
Syn is now only getting a Botkin arrow.
yeah, and Syn is getting him housed as well within a few seconds here. Okay, but DmBent does see at least he's gonna be dropping some houses. But this is,
It's
I
good
think, a lot of panic houses. This is what 13 on this side, 6 or 20 villagers just building the houses in response.
Yeah, I don't think it is a good move.
That's really going too far. And now this one
Garrisoning
Chukanu
in the
is gonna
TC for
feel the
absolute no
full
reason.
rage of 22 knights. Let's see these
Yeah,
last
but
moments.
look-
I'm gonna zoom in here. Bye, guy. Bye, guy.
That's one
Bye, guy. Bye,
Chukanu.
guy. Bye, guy. Come on. And there we go.
DmBent just Garrison 30 villagers in the TC, and he's refusing to ungarrison them. Okay, he's now doing it, but I think based on this, the value was more than justifiable for that one Chukunu.
Oh yeah, very true. I mean, I don't know if he personally would agree, but
Yeah,
from,
it better
from
to
our
be alive, I
perspective
guess.
and from like a warlord
Mm.
perspective, yeah, great
Ma-
job,
makes
guy.
sense. Present. And also, Syn is now able to mass Chukunu and camels, and double code composition is good.
Yep.
Bent is only using cavalry. I think if he pushes his advantage, he can get a lot of value. But he's way too passive for my liking.
And but in terms of eco upgrades, these camels will be fighting still a bit uphill because
Yeah,
this is a lot of
definitely.
knights. So 30 knights basically to only 10 camels with the knights having full upgrades, and the knights here
And
can
the
even lead
knights
the
attacking
TC.
the farms, because who needs to attack the TC? The farms are way more valuable.
Yeah,
And fighting under the town center in groups, I don't think this is the best
but I
damage
still
that
think
will fight
DmBent
the
should be
entrance
winning this.
Yeah,
And he's not
I
using
think
all
the
the
micro is
knights.
terrible.
He split them up as well. I think he just needed to use the big Deadpool that he had and go forward. I mean,
Yes.
you can see that he's still winning the fight because of the upgrades, because of the numbers.
This
Not
is
the ideal
cost
fight to be
effective.
taking, but
Yeah,
he's still winning.
Chokunus have arrived as well. I think he should either have moved a bit back to take the fight outside of the TC range, because the Unis were departing really mess with him.
Yeah. But I really don't like this idea of taking like 6 or 7 of these knights and just leaving them at home. And then there's some more here as well. Like,
By the
if
way,
you went
villager
for the
number
fight,
9
just go
equalized.
with all of them. And yep, we equalized on the villager numbers because we have like a half an hour of DmBent idle TC time. We now have me numbers of idle TC time.
Soon, we will have more idle TC time than game time.
Yeah, Resbu, it's Emma. I think I added it to the stream description. Yeah, I did. So that one's on you, not on me this time.
Oh, but finally Lightcap finding some value on a wood line.
Yep.
Look at that gate. That is really efficiently keeping at everything. That is like a do not enter sign.
It's basically not a
And
good
nice
gate,
doing
but
that.
even at the one point where it could be useful, it's still not doing it because it's just being opened and walked through.
I love it.
Yeah. But now the
The
knights
full-
are in as well, so this is again
Syn
bad
is
for
in
Syn.
full panic
Okay,
mode.
so if DmBent does this, this is my style of outbooming your opponent. If you just keep
Yeah.
killing villagers all the time, you're gonna be ahead. Now I'm perfectly fine with
exactly.
this.
Syn is now adding a fourth town center, and Bent is dropping the most passive-aggressive castle I've seen in my
Yeah,
life.
that's the way to put it. I would say. Yeah, yeah.
It's like
It's the
if you
most
would just at least-
inoffensive offensive castle of all time.
I mean, he could at least put it where he ranges the town center and he would still have the gold access. I really don't like the castle position.
I
He
think-
has 30 knights and refuses to do anything with them, apart with the 3 that is raiding and taking gold. Like, currently he's really handing the win to Syn on a silver plate because he's not using his number, he's just splitting up small units, and
Yep.
Syn with considerably smaller army, he's facing just regulars here and there, so
Yeah. I don't like these.
this is just free value.
I don't like these like special squadron detachments that he has for the knights.
It would make sense if he would raid like 5 different positions at the same time and stretching
Yeah.
too thin, but he's not doing. He's sending 3, 4 knights at the same position and having everyone else in the base.
I mean,
It's
he's
not like
kind
that
of-
he.
I think he's kind of also like sending them in such a position where they are. Well, I think he's in such a position where they every time they are going to be countered by just enough of opposing units.
Yes.
So they're getting basically no value at that point. So I think he could have just used them at the dead ball and won by this point. And I just want to say, like, I think DmBent, of course, is like a great player, and he's doing a pretty good.
Yeah, he
game
would
here, a
defeat
pretty
me,
good
sure.
set. But I think he needs to be more decisive in some situations and simply end the game when he's ahead.
Yeah.
Because I feel like he waits for too long in certain situations. And look at this, after all of this and 37 eco kills, he's 12 villagers behind now.
I think the problem for him is that he doesn't commit on any tactic. Like, you can be defensive, but then have your playstyle defensive. Right now, again, sending down
Again, we have a
9
detachment
knights.
of knights. Yep.
Good luck. It's going to be eating 2 castles. Now they are being walled off. Maybe 2 or 3 villagers will die, but does it worth it?
I mean-
I don't think so.
32 knights with iron casting, you can literally eat a castle at this point.
Yeah, he could. Okay, he lost. He doesn't lost any. He didn't lose any knight. He's now taking villagers, but you could have sent all the army, to be
the
honest.
gate is once again not doing its thing.
I mean, it delayed the army a little bit. The check is now
ever
there.
so slightly, ever so slightly.
Yeah, yeah.
But I don't like the, as I've said, we don't like the detachments. Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
Hey, Syn,
it
no
would be
problem at all.
fine.
Do have a great time. Hopefully
Yeah.
I have some time to catch your stream later as well.
To be honest, this would have made sense if he sends these knights there, but in the pincer maneuver he sends all the remaining knights on the double TCs that Syn has. I think the only thing he's achieving is either TC time and moving the enemy's army out of position, but
Yeah.
is it enough value for you? I don't think so.
Yep, very true. And
Like compared
eco
to 10
again
minutes
equal
ago.
now, because he's getting eco kills ever so slowly, but he is. And
But
he's
if
moving
you
off
look at it 10 minutes ago, he had 30 knights, now he has 35 knights.
and because the fights are not even-handed and actually favors Syn, actually Syn is the one able to bringing his army numbers up, while DmBent is remaining the same at best.
Bent at least can click up to Imperial Age. Like, that is the only advantage he has right now.
Yep. But we maybe we want. I think. Okay, so what we need now is to stop splitting these knights. Let's go imp, get trebs out, and hold the knights next to the trebs.
Yeah.
You can win
That would be a viable
gradually by that. By
Oh,
doing
but
that, you
no,
can win
no, no,
gradually.
no, no, no. That's a way too good idea. Let's send 9 knights just no to the wood line. Hopefully they get something out in value, but nope, not really. They are getting shredded by the camels.
But maybe this is an opportunity also because this is all the camels that Syn has. So maybe now we can send
Yeah,
these
but
knights in.
This is what I've been saying for like 10 minutes. Like, okay, send the detachment, but then send the others another way.
Yep.
You are luring the army away. At least you know where the enemy is, but you're absolutely not using anything about it.
Yep, exactly.
Or not using your advantage right now. At least he's making more stable, so he can potentially raid for multiple times if he just sets up gather points for the army.
Did you see this camel just casually walk by while getting missed by around 700 arrows?
Well, no.
Yep.
But I would understand why it happened because we have almost Imperial Age, but we don't have ballistics,
Yep.
and we also don't have fletching. Okay, fletching now being researched, but I mean.
No, we do have we have Botkin arrow for Syn, so the Chukanus were the ones doing the missing, but
I meant for Bent. My apologies.
yeah. It's for Bent is now getting fletching as well. But we don't have we definitely don't have ballistics, and it shows. And Bent, I'm not sure why he keeps doing this, because it all the time seems like he's just waiting to. This game he could have ended a lot sooner, and I think
Look,
like he
another
just waits for
defensive
late game
castle.
every time.
Defending nothing. Like that
Yeah.
could have been an aggressive castle as
Yep.
well. Or not the hill that Resbu mentioned could have been taken advantage. Like just drop
Yep.
the castle on the hill. It give you some stone, some gold, and also you can
I
camp
mean,
the tram behind to take
the
both
first
both
position
the
we
pieces down.
mentioned for the castle could still be game winning. This next to these two
Yes.
DCs can still be very, very game winning. And now we have fletching, so they for sure ranges both DCs if you drop it here.
Yeah, but still missing Botkin
Yep.
and Bracer.
We have a trap on the field. We're gonna have Cavalier, so it's now gonna be Cavalier detachments. Yeah, I feel kind
And
of
also three
I don't know.
camels.
It's a bit aggravating just the fact that DmBent has this game for such a long time and had it in his scans, but-
Finally.
Okay, now we have
Bent
them
is
all
now
on the
moving
move.
multiple armies. This is what he needed to do in the past 20 minutes.
Yep, and that's
If I
Chukanus out
sound
of place
disappointed,
here.
it is exactly the same reason that you mentioned.
Okay, they're leaving this one Chukanu. It's always like this. Leave this one to send a message back home.
Yeah.
Yep, nope, camels won't have it.
Yeah, I think Ben now has the game, although Syn has clicked up to Imperial Age and
Yep.
also getting forging.
Yep. Also, I think the camels were like... I think the message gets sent if none of them return as well.
Yeah.
Which is also
Here-
decent enough logic, I guess. If your scout never returns, you can assume what's going on.
Yeah, and also trebuchets are now down. I think he's going to target the TC.
Yep.
Granted,
So,
Syn has
I
the
mean,
eco advantage,
it's
but he
in
cannot
line
mess
with what
army.
we've seen DmBent liking to do so far. It's gradual, everything is gradual. He gets a spot, he drops a defensive castle, takes a new spot, defensive castle, takes a more forward spot, take everything that's in front of you first.
I don't mind, I just think that he threw the army unnecessarily in the past, and he might do it again, fighting
this
under
is,
the
but
TC.
this is a good point, like the TC is going down to the trebs, there's 44 cavaliers here. This is the fight like you needed, this is the fight you're winning. Like look, there's no chance for the Chukanus and for the camels to be winning this at this point. And this should be the GG actually. I think this might be the GG right here.
Yeah, could be. I don't think that Syn is a position to spam
Yeah.
right now. He needed like 5 minutes and then he could stabilize, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Although Bent is doing everything to throw away his army, but I don't think that even fully garrison TCs can save.
So you see, he's not doing some like raiding right now, but again, now you're at a point where you won the main battle. Your opponent has no army. You can actually start like hitting these castles, just protect them a bit. Like, but okay, he wants total destruction now, and I respect that. He has 70 eco kills. I love that.
Yeah. Okay. Score difference is increasing rapidly. I think.
Well, that's because there's now a lot of scouting and water on the map.
Yeah. I see the fish boom in the corner as well.
Yeah, for sure. It's here somewhere. Not on this map, just in the corner somewhere.
He's in the black area. Okay, I think Ben finally finds the value, and he's also capable of spamming from all
There's a
stables.
fish boom in this corner in the black part, but you guys don't see it. It's in Capture Age Pro, the premium version.
Exactly. Castles are being lost.
Yep.
Syn is under 100 population.
Yep, and he calls the
Yeah,
GG there.
GG scored.
He calls the GG there. Very nicely done in the end by
105.
DmBent. 105 Cavaliers or
I-
Knights. So yeah, I mean DmBent
Yeah.
did play a good game. It's like really good player. I just think he could have ended this one a lot sooner. And I
Yeah.
think he was far too conservative, which gives Syn a chance to get back. And to be fair, I think Syn again he was adapting pretty good because he was in an abysmal spot and he like didn't die out and he knew what composition to go for. He was most, but it's basically that DmBent was able to keep him just enough down from where he was that he did
Yeah.
never managed to fully recover and get back into it.
He was in a rock. He was between a rock and a hard place. So he could.
Yep.
He chose to boom. He could boom. He could sustain army, but he didn't have the capacity to also get all the necessary upgrades for the army.
Yep.
I think if he gets like 5 or 10 more minutes, he would be able to respond to ban, but he wasn't able to do it in the end. I think he really played well. Both of them did well, but Syn was always in the back foot after Castle Age.
And DmBent wanted to go for like the Cavaliers and big mass and end with them, and that's what he's done. And in the end, the perfect way to end the cast of this set, is to say that Syn got bent to the will of his opponent. Okay, I'm done. The set is done. We're done with this one. We're done with the
Well done,
puns
Kaja. I
and the
really
other.
hope the clapping was heard by the stream as well. I think you really did yourself in the end. But yeah.